Welcome to Loud and Queer, your one-stop shop for everything viewed through the queer eye. This is Galaxy.
And Braxton.
And today, we're talking about sex. Oh yeah, the dirty, nasty, everything about it.
It's gonna be real cute. We're gonna be talking about body image, libido, hookup culture, and sex ed.
We've asked you guys to go ahead and submit some questions, and we've picked the best ones that relate to this topic. So, why don't we get started, shall we? First question, all right. So, it's really more of a commentary, but it is, does anybody really care what you look like naked?
No.
I really think it's no. Like, no. At least not in my experience. I mean, like, I'm a bigger person. I always like to say, I personally think I look amazing in clothing. But that's in clothing, you know?
I think I look terrible in clothing. I feel like we all have, like, battles with our, like, body images. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to, like, being open and vulnerable like that, it's a lot more difficult. Because I'd say that I think I look terrible in clothing, so of course I'm not going to take it off. Like, that's not going to help anybody. But I've learned that nobody's really paying that much attention.
Not in sex. Not really.
Yeah, because we're just trying to get it done, and it don't matter.
It don't matter, you know.
But I wonder, does size matter?
I don't think. I mean, okay, I have a rule. My hands are a little bit smaller because I'm
delicate.
Delicate. That's the word. I'm dainty. I'm cute. For me, if I can put my hand on it and at least some little bit is coming out from the other side of my hand, that's enough for me.
I would hope.
Like the length of my fist, I guess. A little bit more because of the head.
But
that's okay with me.
I would be concerned if you couldn't see.
Then you have mobility. I mean, right. If it's less than that.
Your hands are pretty small. That's like a faux finger discount right there. I don't know.
Yes, you're right. My hands are roughly the size of Wendy's 4 chicken little basket thing.
Oh, so you could hold like one in each hand?
Yeah, 4 for 4. It's perfect.
Anyways, pertaining to...
Hashtag not sponsored.
Males, or people with penises.
That's the one.
You know, a lot of people wonder, does size matter in that regard? But do you think size matters for people without penises in other like aspects?
You mean to say that in like the people with penises, the whole size mattering, it centers around the penis? Yeah. But you mean, is there anything else when you're not born with a penis? Wow, that's a lot of tiptoeing around, you guys. But let's just... I think maybe, but not really. Like, I'm fully heading into transition. Like, and I don't want to get too big, like, breastises. You know, I'm good. I think a cute little B cup is so efficient.
There ain't nothing wrong with a B cup. A B cup is quality.
It's perfect. It's just a tight little hand little thing. Nothing too much.
Right.
It's just there.
But I know a lot in straight relationships that women think that men care about, like, their breast size or, like,
that is
their
not
butt
true.
size.
I personally know a lot of girls who are flat-chested, and I always try to tell them that's not a bad thing because, honestly, it's a look.
But even besides it being a look, I feel like men or like people that you are having sex with aren't really paying attention to what your body looks like. They're paying attention to the fact that they're about to get it in.
That is true.
You know? So,
and if you got the parts that they're feeling like having sex with that day, I mean, you're golden.
Fine. Yeah, I feel like that's an issue that doesn't need to be an issue, and we shouldn't be too hard on ourselves for like not having the bodies that like we would want to have, ideally.
I just feel as though I have to make a comment, just to speak from personal experience. It does not genuinely matter what your body looks like, and I have a dirty little list that can prove it. Because you can fuck someone with 6-packs when the only 6-pack you have is in the fridge. It is possible.
I mean, we've all done things that we're surprised about. I've pulled many a woman. And I just want to let you guys know, for like a visual representation of myself, I do look like a 10-year-old boy.
Fully. And,
I got some pull sometimes. So it's not about, what is it? It's not about the size of the wave. It's about the motion of the ocean.
Oh, my God. How light-skinned are you?
That really speaks to me. I'm just kidding. But I don't know.
Everybody, give it up for lesbian Drake. Yay.
Kiki. Here's a good one. How difficult is it to be sexually active when you don't 100% love yourself?
Oh shit.
Y'all can't see, but I'm looking straight at I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, I feel added at. Well, by the way, I do love myself. I have a love-hate relationship actually with myself, where we schedule the love times and we schedule the hate times. So right now we're in a good mood. I think that if you don't really feel very good about yourself and you are pursuing more and more sexual, like, I'm just going to say antics because it's the first word that comes to mind, it almost becomes a source of validation, and I think that is such a positive and a negative thing. Positive in the short term because, it really can pull you out of a dark space. It is a crutch, and it's one that shouldn't be used solely to base your self-worth, but it really does make you feel a lot better, and it can pull you out of a dark place and give you reasons to love yourself.
Yeah.
But, like I said, it shouldn't be a permanent crutch. You should never base your entire self-worth on whether you're fucking somebody and who you're fucking, because you're so much more than just a sexual being. You're a human being. There's a lot more to you than just sex. And it's not the end of the world if you're not having any, and it's not the end-all if you are.
That's true. It's okay to be celibate for a while. I didn't realize that. But piggybacking off of what Galaxy just said, I think that it does serve as like a source of validation a little bit, because I noticed that I wasn't as confident in myself until I started, like, I had like a year where I was like hooking up, but it wasn't really hooking up. I was just like fucking all my friends. So it's a different story for another day, you guys. But
Not me, though.
I was just kind of going around and, hooking up with people that I knew, but I wasn't like dating or anything. So when I realized like, oh, like I'm a desirable human being, I kind of felt better. And I felt like I could, I don't know, like continue to do this. But it's not a necessary point in like loving yourself. Like, you don't have to be sexually like deviant, I guess, to have like self-confidence, if that makes sense.
100% agree. All right, so moving on to the next topic, we got a commentary actually in about hookup culture, talking about someone who is preferring to sit out of the dating pool, I guess you could say, because it's all so obsessed with hookup culture, and that just does not do that for them. What do you really think about that, Braxton?
I 100% agree with that, because aside from that short period where I was hooking up with people, I said before in the previous podcast that I am not a person who enjoys, talking to people or like hooking up with like multiple people. I prefer to just like have my person and focus on that person, and hopefully like be in a relationship with that person to where like there are no questions about what we are. So I think there's a lot of that in our culture right now, and it's pretty exhausting. I don't want the pressure of like having to have sex with somebody whenever we're like talking or something along those lines. I don't want that to be like included.
We've kind of brushed around this before, and I think I did mention that I kind of have my foot in the door in this whole hookup culture just because I'm somebody who can completely separate the relationship between like a romantic relationship and a physical relationship. I like to have both maybe at the same time just because they are so different. I think they ring different bells for me. So I do engage in the hookup culture consistently.
It just depends on like what you're feeling, I think.
I think it's just carnal. It's just the human nature thing. Like, yes, you want to be touched, you know, you want to have that interaction.
Yeah, because at some point, you know, it does become a little bit emotional. Even if the relationship that you're having with the person isn't like a romantic relationship, but there's like, you know, a physical connection there. So of course it's going to have a little bit of meaning, and of course we all desire that. So I don't partake in hookup culture just because I know that it can get messy and feelings can get hurt, and I don't want to start something that like I don't know where it's going to end up or like what it's going to lead to. But I don't know. It's a lot.
It's just about, I mean, I think you and I both share a common feeling where we're able to abstain from sex for a long time. I have waves, I think I would say, with my libido, because it's like I will go for a long amount of time having absolutely no interest in the stuff and probably just looking more to talk to people for a relationship kind of thing and just not even really thinking about sex at all. And then I'll go for like a couple months where I'm like a dirty, hungry monkey in Thailand and I want this shit every day.
I agree. I go through periods where like I want it. Like I know that there are people who aren't interested in sex at all. And I would say that I'm more on that side of the spectrum than I am on the other side, but I know that I do have sexual desires. It's just trying to figure out when and like why I have those desires sometimes, because there are some days where I'm just like, I could have a completely sexless relationship with someone as long as I got love.
Love will pay the bills.
Right, but then other days I'm just like, well, if I don't have love, then there's no pain, and I could just be fucking people all the time. Like, I don't know, it's kind of like a battle with yourself sometimes, because you know, you want to like indulge yourself into something that's like pleasurable, but at the same time, like, that pleasure only lasts for so long.
I'm honestly glad that in this kind of day and age that we are having those talks about libido and the ability to abstain from sex. I think it's great that we're having, it's not in the shadows anymore. Yeah. People don't feel like they're weird.
A lot of people used to think, like, I know I explained asexuality to someone and they were like, how can you not want sex? And it's crazy to me for people to think that, like, sex is a part of human nature. Like, it is, you know, like, we have sex to reproduce, but people think that, like, sex for pleasure is distinctly a part of human nature. Like, not everybody desires that. Not everybody wants that. It's just not of interest to some people, and that's totally fine. So.
That's the best thing. That's the kind of shit that they do not teach you in school. How annoying is that we are just... I feel like as queer people, we kind of end up walking through this sexual world blind for so many years, and all you can do is talk to people that you know, and then it takes all this time to finally get a repertoire of this knowledge.
I think that's super dangerous, too.
Specifically with STDs, because I'm not going to say the entire story, but I remember when I was a freshman in college, a fucking freshman in college, grown as fuck. Well, barely. Scared of something that I really should not have been. And honestly, I blame my sexual education in this public school system. They didn't teach us anything.
I know that when I was taking sex ed sophomore year of high school, or like around that time, the teacher asked if we had any questions. And so like we sat through this whole like speech about safe sex, like safe hetero sex. And I was just like, okay, I get it. Wear a condom. Cool. But then I was like, wait, like something's not registering. Like I still have questions about other things. So I was just like, could you please, I wrote down like, could you please talk more about like how to be safe in same-sex relationships? Because I didn't know if I could get STDs as a lesbian. So I was just like, I just want to make sure, like, I mean, you know, you told me to wear a condom, but I don't have a dick. So it's just like, what? How can I make sure that I'm not spreading any STDs? And there was just like, no.
It's crazy because actually in college is the first time I'd ever seen a dental dam.
Yeah. Did not know what they were. Did not understand it. It was never talked about. And I think that's, you know, obviously because they didn't want us to engage in same-sex sex.
I think that's ridiculous. I mean, at this point, we know it's happening. It's a lot more out in the open. You know, people are coming out at much younger ages and becoming sexually active at much younger ages. At least just give them the information, because you can have your views on what it is. That's okay. That's your cross to bear.
Right.
But at the same time, we're talking about kids' lives.
Yeah.
Kids, it doesn't matter what they like sexually. They're still just kids, and they could be getting into such very dangerous situations because they're just not being educated. And I think that's shameful.
You know what's so interesting, though? You can have oral sex regardless of your sexual orientation. So, like, if you can catch STDs from oral sex, why are they not teaching people about safe oral sex?
That's because, at least for us in this red state of Georgia, they would rather tell you about condoms, and that's it, and then preach abstinence.
Right.
And that's just what happens. I think we were told about STDs, we were told to use condoms, and then we were told to do abstinence. That was it.
Which is so confusing, because I was like, okay,
they're just trying to cover their bases. That's the problem. They just have a checklist of things that they're supposed to say, mandated by, like, the Board of Education, and they're just, like, getting a checklist off, not even really interacting with these students or meeting their needs.
Right. Actually, back to libido, though, I think part of the reason why my sex drive, like, fluctuates and why I feel that I have such a low libido is because they preached abstinence, right? And so I was just like, okay, well, I'm not gonna have sex until, like, I find a person, and that's the only person I'm gonna have sex with. Like, I really believed that I was gonna do that regardless of my sexuality. I was like, I'm not catching anything. No, not happening.
You were that kid.
I was that kid. So I didn't have sex, and then I got to college and I had, like, my first sexual experience, and I was just like, I just wasn't having it. I was just like, I have no idea what I need to be doing. And I think if I was given, like, more education, I would be a little bit more open to it, and I wouldn't be as, like, fearful of it. Because to this day, I'm still kind of fearful of it. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know what's going on. Like, someone help me write a book. Come on. But that's I don't know. That's just crazy. But speaking of that, do you have any funny sex stories?
Oh my gosh, what a segue. You're a mastermind, aren't you?
I just read the paper.
You just read the paper. All right. Funny sex stories. I have one. It's not my own. It's just a little tidbit. So I had a friend.
A friend.
And she was dating a guy who she had some thoughts that he was kind of a little psychotic. All right. So mind you, she's still fucking him. Mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, she asked this guy that she thinks is kind of crazy to choke her. Tell me how shook she was when he went and two-handed choked her ass. Tell me.
Oh, damn.
Oh, my gosh. Turned her all the way off. Just all the way off.
I'd be like, yes, daddy, kill me. Yes.
No.
That's what I wanted tonight.
Choke me in my thrussie.
Choke me, daddy.
Ew,
That's
delete all of that. All right. Do you have a funny sex story? Oh my god, yes you do. I
have a few.
You have a slew.
Listen, it's all going back to that issue with sex education. Nobody told me. I'm just kidding. But okay, which one do I want to start with? Okay, so I was dating this girl, and we had that. I'm not gonna say that one.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say the one about the room that I was wearing.
That's so funny. That's so perfect.
Okay, actually, okay.
That's so funny.
Okay,
you don't have to mention the room.
I was having sex. I was getting ready to have sex with this girl that I just recently started dating. And so I was going through the phase of my my style changing. So I was wearing boxers and sports bras, but I'm very flat-chested, you guys. Extremely flat-chested. I
have
do
a
not,
video if you want to see.
You know what? I don't need a bra. I don't typically wear bras, but at the time, it just depends on what I'm wearing. So, I was wearing a sports bra with a padded bra underneath because the sports bra wasn't padded. So I was just trying to help myself out a little bit. And I was wearing some boxers, but I had put on my panties over, underneath the boxers. So I was wearing
Why
both.
the hell?
Because they were uncomfortable. They were men's boxers, and they were just sagging. So I wanted
what kind? Boxer brief or boxer?
Oh, they were
brief?
boxer briefs, but
those are the ones that are tight to your leg, right?
But they weren't tight on my coochie. So I wanted to put my underwear on, so I felt like something was there. Because I felt like it was just hanging out.
But you've never just had loose straws?
No,
that's boxers.
I've worn panties my whole life.
It's okay for them to be loose,
but it felt like I was just having air up there. I just wanted to put my panties on. Anyways, so I put both on, and so I was getting ready to get it on. And she's taking my shirt off, and she's like, "Why do you have on 2 bras?" And I was like, "Oh, because I need the support." And she was just like, "Oh, are you trying to make them look bigger?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Okay, whatever." So then she took off my pants, and it was the same situation underneath. And she was just like, "What the hell?
What the fuck?"
I don't know. Anyways, one thing led to another. She decided she wanted to have sex with me again. But I was on my period that whole week. So I was like, yeah, I can't. I'm on my period. It's been a long time. So I thought it was over. And we were about to have sex. And then she pulls my pants down and it wasn't over. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't wear a pad today because I thought it was done. I'm sorry. I just kept apologizing. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then she went home and never came back. But yes. Should I talk about the one where I was watched?
I've gotten a sore throat from sucking dick. I've gotten multiple sore throats from sucking dick, actually.
This one had a whole lecture on, safe measures.
Oh my god, yes.
You can't just be sucking random dicks in the bathroom.
Hey!
Oh, sorry, did I expose you? I'm just saying you can't be sucking random dicks in the bathroom. I didn't name any names.
Oh my god.
I just said don't do that,
You know what's funny? I couldn't name names either.
But I high key remember what he looks like, though.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's the thing. How many, no, it doesn't apply to you. It does not apply to you. I've had sex with a lot of people and I couldn't tell you what their names were. I have a guess.
Oh.
And that's about it.
I don't have that.
Right, because you have to deeply emotionally be involved with anyone that sticks their fingers in your vagina, unless it's at a Red Roof Inn.
Yeah. Whatever. We're just adding each other now. But
But
the thing about that, it's not even that I need an emotional connection with someone. It's just I need a little bit of a background check. And so if it's just I know I'm attracted to you, that's cool. But that's all there is. So I would want us to be friends first.
Okay, but I gotta be honest. Sometimes when the only connection that you have with the person is sex, it's so much easier because when I think about people and who they are, I'm just I can't really get into sexy time with you.
Because I know you.
if I'm mad at you, like
yeah,
if because I'm like, oh, what's the English word for it? Petty.
Wow, you had to think about that.
First word that came to my mind was rencorosa.
Ooh,
That's
that
me.
means petty.
Kinda, but yeah, petty. I'm just like, because you start to learn things about that person,
right.
and you think they're annoying and that they talk too much and that they're try hard, but their body is sexy though.
I understand. I it's just a trust thing for me. I'm just like, I'm not going to invite you into my room, into my space. I'm not going to your house.
There's a lot of people that I
No.
would just plain have a no-name, anonymous hookup with and never learn their personalities because I don't like them that much.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. At one point in my life, I probably would have judged you for that, but that's so fair. Because it's just like, why have all the extra drama?
Seriously, why? Like, if genuinely the person does not mesh with your personality in any way, shape, or form, and you cannot stand the ground they walk on, but if the sex is good, bitch, get the sex. Get the sex. Why the fuck not? Why does sex have to be more than what it is? It's a body thing.
Moment.
It's a body thing. Just have the sex. Like, Jesus Christ, it's sex. Oh my gosh. That's lovely.
Having a moment.
All right.
You know how we said that though? Like, there's a person that walks through the door and you're just like, we're not talking, we're just fucking. Like, I totally feel that. I like hate you, but like,
but we just fucking.
but you're a body though. Like,
couldn't you? I could totally do that. I like all those stupid TV shows where they have two characters that hate each other but they're fucking all the time. I 100% get that because I would fuck the shit out of so many people.
it makes sense.
It's just like when you're really fucking them hard, you get to be like, "Where's all that shit you were talking now?" I mean,
And then you choke them with 2 hands.
Right, totally uncalled for. Actually, that's the lesson of the day. If somebody asks you for the first time to start choking, don't do 2 hands. That's crazy. Don't fucking do 2 hands. You're gonna scare someone.
And along with that lesson of the day, I got a little question for y'all. Do you guys have sex with the lights on or off? Is it creepy to have the lights on? Or is it okay?
Go ahead and leave your answers to that in the comments. Let us know. And we're going to answer that at our next one.
That's
so
exciting.
Stay tuned. Thank you for hearing us out. And glad that you shared this episode with us. And we hope that you heard us loud and queer.